Hey guys, welcome back to Diving Deep in Thought. You're here with Elias, and today I want to talk to you guys about why the new year won't change unless you change. So, the new year itself is just another timeline. It's like another new week, a new day. Obviously, it signifies a new year, but what most of us do, if not all of us, is we use this event, this initiative, as leverage. So we think of this event as something that's going to change us beyond our control. So we want a reward but no responsibility, and that's impossible. You can never ever get that. It's like saying to the bank, I can't pay my loan this month. Can I repay you with love? Love is abundant and free. So, but is that a currency that they're willing to accept? No, you have to go work for money using effort, responsibility, initiative, and then that gives you money, and then that currency you pay the bank. So the bank is getting a reward for allowing you to give you their money, and you're getting obviously the house or whatever asset you choose to take on with their money. So today's video, I'm going to tell you guys just a few ways that you can change so that the new year changes. So that you're not going into 2023 like new year, new me. You know, this doesn't exist. It doesn't work like that. Because think about it. How could you be living your normal life with the normal habits, with the normal way of thinking? Everything's normal, but there's a new year. Where's the new you in that part? In that equation? Where is the new you if you haven't done extra work? So this new year concept of, changing, it's really, really good on the 31st. It's amazing in the last week of the year, and it's incredibly fresh in the first week of the new year. But January 7th hits and everyone goes back to the mundane and nothing really changes. There's no new me. So in order to change you as a person, it's not easy. Because you've built so many habits, you've built so much identities over the years. You tell yourself this story that you are, or you believe you are. There's your environment, which plays a significant role in who you are as a person. It molds the way you treat others, the way you treat yourself, the way you interact with everyone. And there's also responsibility. Responsibility is one of those things where you've got to take it on. Your boss can give you obligations. You're obliged to work, but it's your choice if you want to take on that responsibility. So responsibility is something that you need to accept. No one can force it on you. It's like when you're babysitting young children. You're a responsible adult. But at the end of the day, how far does that responsibility go? Do you believe you just have to be present and let the kids roam the house, try to cook their own meal, and leave them free to be? So that's a very low amount of responsibility on your part. Whereas you could have a greater responsibility, which is to monitor their every move, to have your finger on the pulse. Every twist, turn, and you're here, you're onto it. Two different types of responsibility, same situation. So it's the same thing with work. So the first thing is habits. What are habits? Habits are just the subconscious cues that we have in our life that have formulated because of their ease and efficiency in our life. A way to change your habits is to write down what your goal is. For example, lose weight. That is your goal. Your habits have contributed to that goal of you gaining weight. What habits do you do? Then you assign what habits you believe have contributed to your weight gain. So if you gain weight and you notice when you sit on the TV, sit on the couch and you're watching, that triggers snacking. Or when you hear an ad and it triggers fast food, why? So you got to find enough leverage or enough reason to want to change. That has to be there too. And then when the action happens, you got to understand that by doing that action, there is a reward. There's an invisible reward for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. There is an invisible reward. You see nothing. You put work in, you see nothing back. That is the test. But you damn right know that when you do that weight, you're going to get muscly. It may not happen in 1 week, 2 weeks, but you know through science, cause and effect, through a million people training, you know that when you train, you will get a result. The trouble is sticking it through. That's the hard part. And you need to create leverage for that. You need to make it easier for you to do that. So a way of doing that is getting your clothes ready for training, getting everything on hand, writing it down. Write down what you expect from yourself. Start small. Start really, really small. Go 1 day a week. Then 2 days a week a few weeks later. Then 3 days a week. Isn't that better than not going at all? Think of the last 6 months. How many times did you train? Are you happy with that? So wouldn't you want an insignificant amount today rather than what you've been doing for the last 6 months and you're having to face this regret? So think of it like that. They're your habits. You got to change your habits, but you got to start with what goal you want, then change your habits to get to a new goal. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about is your self-beliefs. Self-beliefs is basically that. What you truly believe you're worth. What you truly believe you deserve. And really understand this. And this is your perspective, nobody else's. You can't outsource this question. This is for you. This is back to that responsibility. How much responsibility do you want to take for who you really are in your eyes? So you could tell people you're amazing. You could tell people you're great. You could tell people you're okay. But are you really? Now, this is when the self-talk has to come through. And you have to be so honest and almost brutal with yourself and write down what you really feel about yourself. And then find out, when you do write down who you are or who you believe you are, find out ways of what belief systems you need to drop from that to begin with. So if there's some things you're unhappy with, so say you're finding it hard to find a long-term partner, right? That could be one of yourself, because you've always told yourself you don't need one. I don't need one. I don't need a long-term partner. I don't need that intimacy, that affection. I don't need that person that I can turn to and you know, tell them about my worries. Your self-belief would be that I'm independent. I don't need a partner. Now, in reality, that may be hurting you. If it is hurting you, that's something you want to drop. You want to drop the fact that you feel like independence is better than having a partner who is there to tend for your needs, emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever. So that's something you need to drop off. A way to drop that off is to understand what steps you can take to finding somebody who will meet your needs. But if you don't have a need, nobody can meet it. So your first need would be to find a suitable, compatible partner who you both complement each other on a physical, spiritual, and emotional level. And in order to do that, you need to write this down. So you have to drop off the belief that you are independent and that you do need a partner. When you create that need, the new belief system you'll have is, I want to be in a loving, caring, long-term relationship with somebody who will help me grow. And this is something that you have to integrate into your belief system. So no more negative talk about not needing a partner. Now you need a partner, and you'll elevate yourself in order to attract the partner you desire. That's one example. And that can go on for everything. Your job. I don't need a high-paying job. I don't value money very highly. You know, you're self-deprecating there. You're saying to yourself, I want the easy way out. I want to change my belief system to make it easier for my life so that I can do less and be happier. There's no challenge in that. If you don't need money or nobody needs money, then what's really driving everyone? What's driving people to create value in this world? Where's the value creation in this world if nobody is chasing the need to be wealthier? Money is not just a commodity, by the way. It's not something that we just get and, you know, it's only for the greedy. Money is a way of value transfer. It's a way of getting something by you in return for something you're offering people. So it's sort of like a physical receipt for the services you provide. And with money comes freedom, with money comes power, with money comes the necessity to want to help. So money itself is not necessarily money you make. A lot of people think you're making that money just for selfish needs. No, a lot of people make money to make the world a better place. And by making that money, they also divert and channel that money into avenues that they believe will elevate the current state of the people around them as well. Don't ever think that people are just making money to buy the shiny objects. No, they're using it as a resource to elevate the quality of life of others. That's what a responsible person with money does. And yeah, so money is not bad. It's the intention behind making it and the intention behind spending it that makes it bad or labels it as bad. But it's just like anything else. It just happens to be, it's very valuable. So your self-beliefs. The third thing I want to tell you guys is responsibility. Taking more responsibility. Now, responsibility can be so small, like I told you, to something so big. When I say responsibility, you're not going to become the next Prime Minister. You're not responsible to change the earth, to lower climate change, to find new and innovative ways of, moving cars, using water. That's not your problem. Your responsibility is dealing with your problems, and everyone has problems. So you have to pick the problems that you're willing to take on the effort to fix. And these may be very little things like improving your career, cleaning up your room. That's such a small thing, but because it's such a small thing, we take it for granted. But your room is a representation, your bedroom is a representation of how you treat other things in life too. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're slack on one area of your life, it seeps into the other areas of your life. If you're rude to one or two people in your life because you think, it's behind closed doors, you end up being rude to other people. And the reason for that is 55% of your communication is subconscious. Now, to a normal person, they won't really know this. But to somebody who's aware of body language and communication cues, if you're rude to somebody and just by a negative thought, so you may be saying something, but your thoughts say otherwise, your body will chase the thought, not the word. So you could be lying. And what tends to happen is over time, people catch on to this and they say, this guy, there's something about him that's not right. And the reason for that is because your body language is saying something and your mouth is saying something else. And when they're not coherent with each other, what comes out is you start to look like a slippery character. So in all aspects of your life, if you level up, if you increase your responsibility, whether it be at home, at work, to your partner, to your kids, and your job, just self-care in general, one of those responsibilities could be staying fit. Another responsibility could be caring for your partner unconditionally. Another one could be saving up for a house. Another one could be contributing more to your household in terms of household duties, not just surviving at home. If you're at home with your parents, help your parents. If you're at home and the lawn needs to be cut, go cut it. These are all things, they seem trivial, but when you have this superiority complex where you think you're greater, I'm greater than cutting the lawn, I'm greater than taking the rubbish out. But what does that say about your character? And we come back to that point of responsibility. How responsible are you? If you think you're so, powerful, so smart and all this, that you're too good to even just take out the rubbish. And these are little things that we've got to reconsider when it comes to responsibilities. When we let one thing slide, we let a lot of things slide. And yeah, that's basically my video. So these are things we can change on a very small or very great level, depending on where you're at, that'll change you. The year won't change unless you do. And your attitude toward everything you do this year, if that changes too, you're gonna be a new person. And guess what? When it gets to the end of next year, or the end of this year, and this is the ideal situation, you won't want to change. There won't be a New Year's resolution. There'll be a New Year's resuming of what you already are. and these habits will follow through. The people that leverage off New Year's resolutions are using it to boost them. But when they're already there and they're already crashing through all their goals, there's no need for this new year, new me. It works, but it'll just be the icing on the cake. It won't be the big catalyst for change. So good luck with everything this year, guys. I hope that you can implement some of these things. I'll try to bring out videos more consistently so that, you know, it'll help you out with different areas of your life. But also comment anything that you believe you may need help with, and I'll do my best. And so thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you believe anybody else could use this information, like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next one.